All right, welcome back, friends. Today we're going to continue. We are going to do a chord progression: G, E minor, C, and D. 4 chords, and we're going to loop them. Okay, and I'm going to show you a cool way to finger it that's easy and sounds awesome on the guitar. You actually can use this chord progression for lots of songs. Okay, here we go. All right, we're going to start with the G chord, and so let me show you what it's going to sound like when we're all done. And then we'll go back and learn it, okay? So it's going to sound like... Okay, so G. All right. Now, the full version is G chord. I call it the big G because we're going to use all 6 strings. E minor, also using all 6 strings. C, I guess we call it C2 or C ninth chord, using 5 of 6 strings. We won't use the low E. And then back to the G chord, okay? So that's how to do it, the big version. I'll also teach you a version that's a little simpler, okay? So let me start with the harder version for the second. What you want to do is you want to place your 3rd and 4th fingers here on the 3rd fret, okay? And we're also going to place the 2nd finger on the 3rd fret. Your 1st finger will be on the B string on the 2nd fret. Let's see if I can move my camera so you can see that a little bit, that angle a little bit better on the G. There we go. I'll try and keep this a little closer and maybe adjust our color a little bit there. Let's try that. So there's my G chord. Now the C chord, E minor, will actually, I'm going to take these 2 fingers and I'm going to shift them both to the 2nd fret. So so we're here, and they're going to be the A string and the D string, those 2. So there's the G, and the E minor's here. And I'm going to leave these 2 fingers where they're at. Now, if you happen to let go, it's not a musical crime. It's still going to sound like G minor, just a different voicing, we call it. Okay, so this is E minor, and you can play all 6 strings. Okay, then you're going to shift over, and that 2nd finger will be on the 3rd fret. And so these 2 here, like so, and we're keeping those 2 fingers here, right there, okay? So let's review all of that. G chord, and then the E minor, keeping those there. Now if you can't, you could play that instead, that'd be fine. C chord, C2 or C9 we call this. And then the last chord is D chord. We're going to leave the 3rd finger right where it's at, and we're going to do what I call the D chord, or the triangle chord, okay? So the 1st finger's here, 2nd finger here, 3rd finger here. It's a D chord. This one is just off the guitar altogether, okay? 1, 2, 3. Now the 3rd finger will stay there. So G chord, E minor, C, and then D. That finger can kind of stay there and anchor it. That's kind of nice. That finger is actually sort of anchoring our transition. E minor, C chord, then to D. All right, let's try it together really slow, okay? Starting with the G chord. Ready, begin, G. Let's go to E minor now. Let's go to C. And then the D chord. Let's go through that progression one more time. G. E minor. C chord. By the way, the right hand, you can do whatever you want. I'm just kind of using a finger to strum it. I'm using a nylon string guitar today. Okay, but you can use a pick, you can pluck whatever you like, whatever works for you, okay? Let me show you a simpler way to play this with the chords. Same progression, but a little simpler. Okay, you can play a G chord with just, you could just use your pinky here or this finger, but it'd be 3rd fret. Let me shift my camera a little bit here, or me. So G chord, 3rd fret, and I'm only going to play the first 4 strings. I'm not going to play the, we're not going to play the low E or the A. So that's my G chord. E minor, I actually, if I don't play the bottom, the lowest 2 strings, I can just do that, and that's an E minor chord. Actually, if you, yeah, just the highest 3 strings, but just play those 3. That's actually an E minor chord. Okay, and then next would be C. C, I could just play if I wanted with 1 finger here. These 3 strings, and just use the first finger on the 2nd string, first fret of the 2nd string. The B string, just like that, and then D. That'll be the hardest part of this easy progression, that triangle chord. That D chord, be patient with yourself. Your fingers will need to get strong before it sounds nice and clear. So don't be patient with yourself, even if you're in the right position, but your guitar doesn't sound clear and clean. What'll happen over time, your fingers will get stronger, you're gonna be playing. If you notice, my fingers are I kind of do this in the guitar, but if you want to wrap your finger, that's fine. Or if you want to put your finger a little bit more on the bottom curve, they work. Everyone's hand's a little different there, and you want to be able to play it comfortably and cleanly. You can see how that's kind of do, that's a position that works for me. And but everyone's a little different. Different chords sometimes will be different. Actually, even occasionally, I wrap the guitar around and do, like here's a D chord with an F sharp bottom. I use the thumb and wrap it around and play that note. Yeah, okay. All right, so if you did the progression with just those simple chords, it'd be G chord to start. Let's try it together. Ready, begin. G chord. Next will be the E minor. I'm just going to play those 3 strings. C, first fret of the B string, and then the D chord. Back to G, E minor, C chord, triangle chord, D chord, and let's end on the G. There you go. Okay, enjoy that simple progression. Be patient with yourself. It's going to take time for your hands to get nice and strong. And remember that you're going to get some calluses here. Play a little bit each day. Your fingers will get strong and you'll develop calluses. You can see my fingers are kind of pokey right now because I've been playing. That's what should happen. And you'll get some extra skin there and it won't hurt so much. When your fingertips are hurting, take a break. Come back to it later in the day or the next day. Okay, enjoy. We'll see you. All right, we'll see you next time. Proud of you. Keep playing and have fun. All right.